Welcome back to Suladan Place, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2. Last time, Handmaiden went through a bit of a battle of identity crisis and confusion, and I still don't completely understand, but I knocked a bunch of people silly. And then I got lightning struck. My own old lady, nonetheless. You know, without context, some of the things that happen in Star Wars games sound really, well, funny, depending on your perspective, I suppose. Anyway, yes, I don't have a backdrop up today. I'm being lazy. It's later in the day than I'd like. Stuff happened. Nothing bad. I just ended up tied up, so, didn't feel like dragging the backdrop out and doing all that. And, yeah, once in a while. It's not that bad background anyway, and if that's distracting to you, then we got bigger problems. Also, I'm apparently supposed to fight her, and nothing's happening. Okay, now how do I use this new force power? Force Enlightenment. I've been told it's a combination of night speed and armor and something else. So let's see if I can find it in here. Powers. Force resistance, force immunity. Let's see if I can... There it is. Force Enlightenment. The best of the Jedi's speed, armor, and valor powers are activated to reduce costs. One complaint I have is the fact that it doesn't, in the tooltip, tell me which one I have. Like, in theory, it would be simple for the code to call which one and then just tabulate it and have it like master speed, cool, you know, how long does it last? Other thing, how long does it last? Other thing, how long does it last? But I'm not going to complain because it's really nice to be able to cast them all at once, so... Whee! Oh, now she wants to fight me. Just when I... You know what? I'm going to run around. I am going to... Ow. I don't approve of how much damage you did to me, ma'am. I do approve of being able to do that all in one handy skill. Now, about this thing... You're going to be immune to my stasis, but I'm going to try it anyway. I can make you really slow. Fear me. Ah, you are stasisable. Oh. Well. That was anticlimactic. Oh, are you, like, alive? Are you dead? Poke, poke. Did you take the fancy armor that I gave you to your death? Like, because I'd like that armor back. Can I at least have the Star-Lord mask back? Not that I'm going to wear it, but, you know, I'd like the loot. Anyway, I've clicked to no avail. What about you? Poke, poke. My night speed is worn off and I'm sad. Yo!
She said you would come here to this place. If you think you can defeat me here, you are wrong. All this collected knowledge, all these teachings of combat and the Force, they're mine to command.
I don't think that's how knowledge works.
And if I must use it to end you, I will. Surrender. You need not die.
I mean, unless you're gonna suddenly, like, dark lightning comes out of each of them and centers on her and she's downloading all of it or something. Or you're going to say that this room is like a nexus of dark side energy because of all the stuff she's collected. You could come up with plenty of reasons to say that fighting you in this room is going to go differently. Let's see. Surely you see you've fallen to the dark side if you're doing these things.
Atris. That is not who I am, not any longer. She has not existed for some time, I think. There was always something else within me. It just took time for its voice to be heard.
Are we going to play on that whole saying of, like, if you live long enough as the hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain? Oh, die as a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain? I don't know. Let's see. What happened to you?
The old woman you traveled with finally made me listen to myself, to the galaxy. She said that you would come here, and that you would face me in battle.
Then there's no reason for us to fight.
She said you were the last obstacle to my enlightenment. If I wished to truly face the Sith, to see their heart, then that meant facing you this last time.
Did she say where they're striking from?
I do not know, yet, but it does not matter. They have come here to face the Republic in battle, and they will be destroyed.
And what then? When the Sith are defeated, what then?
When the Sith are destroyed, then I shall rebuild the Jedi Order again. They shall have none of the weaknesses of before. They shall be strong, willing to take battle to any who oppose them and weaken the Republic. They shall not train those who are easily corrupted. No more students that will bring war and hate to the galaxy.
So what you're saying is, follow me on. You've been corrupted. You fully agree to that, and you think that you're the one that would I don't think you'd be in a position to start the Order again unless you're starting an Order of Sith, because you would, by your very own admission, have that blood on your hands and be ill fit to be the one to, I don't know. Ma'am, you are making my head hurt with your annoyingness. And the game even realizes that you'll make the Jedi into the Sith.
The Sith are the Jedi are the Sith. What matters is that they be preserved. All the law, all the teachings brought to a new generation. I am the last of the Jedi, and I will show them this truth. Bring it to the galaxy.
Sure, you're the last of the Jedi. Hey, Bowder! Atten, don't tell her you're Jedi! And Kreia, too! Well, Kreia's a something. I don't know what Kreia is. I don't know. I'm confused. Why is everyone always the last of the Jedi? Like, why do they say that while they're fighting other Jedi? And yes, I get there's a difference between the Jedi and the Sith, and they're both, like... It's supposed to be balance, and like the Jedi are when they go to the extreme light, and the Sith are when they go to the extreme dark. Meanwhile, the Force itself is actually sitting there like, you goobers, you're supposed to be gray, you're supposed to be in the middle, you're supposed to be balanced. Stop going to the ends of the spectrum. It's all fascinating lore on those things, and I probably don't understand half of it because I am not an expert in these things. So don't expect me to be. I mean, if you want to gripe in the comments and say that I'm wrong on something, go for it. I don't care. I'll read the comments. I mean, I find enjoyment in them. But I just mean there's a lot more depth to it, and I'm probably glossing over it horribly. But I love this game. Anyway, let's see. Weakness, like when you fled KOTOR and Dantooine? I don't remember, but okay.
I did not flee. I did what was necessary to fight the Sith and preserve the last of the Jedi.
Fleeing was necessary, therefore you fled. Therefore you didn't flee, you did what was necessary, but fleeing was necessary. You, ma'am, have a logic loop, and we have proven that you're not a robot because your head would have just exploded because of paradox. Or, would it be a logic loop or a paradox? Both. Neither. Everything. Nothing! And you left the Jedi to die.
Yes. I sensed what would happen on KOTOR. It was I who leaked knowledge of its presence in the hopes of drawing the Sith out. I will not deceive you. I knew what could happen there, but it had to be done to make the Sith reveal themselves. But I did not know the extent of their power, and what that meant for the Jedi. I will not underestimate them again.
So you basically used them as bait. That's no better than you putting them on an altar and slaughtering them yourself. You basically sacrificed them. But you're saying you're fine because somebody else did the deed. Anyway, that makes you responsible for the murder of an entire planet. Or the people of an entire planet. The planet's still there. It's a screaming husk of what it once was, but it's still there, I think. Which planet are we talking about again? I don't remember KOTOR. I know that's the one that Visas is from. I don't remember if the planet's still there or not. It's been a while.
As are we both. You who brought the screams of Malachor to the galaxy, do not preach to me. You lead by example, you always have.
And you
knew what was necessary at Malachor 5, and the stakes in this war are higher than you know. It is a war of extermination, of total annihilation.
So the Daleks are involved. I should have known. Let's see. What were the Jedi doing on KOTOR? We know what they were doing there, meeting.
They hoped to gather, to use their combined knowledge of the Force to see, to listen to the currents of the galaxy. They hoped to find out what was happening to the Jedi, why they were dying, and they discovered it. It revolved around you, as it always has. It is you who have tried to end us.
Sure it is.
Yes. From the destruction of KOTOR, a vision emerged. It is the last act the Jedi were able to perform before the planet was destroyed. So that is why I arranged for you to return to the Republic, so that I might draw the Sith out and end them.
Ma'am, you crazy. That makes no sense. Why me?
Is it not obvious? You are one of the Sith, fallen at Revan's side. The path to them lies through you.
That makes no sense because I'm not allied with the Sith. They're trying to kill me.
The pronouncement on KOTOR was clear, and you are the key. And look, you have come to battle me, Sith versus Jedi, as was intended.
You're the Sith in this situation, ma'am. I hope you realize that. So why didn't you warn the Jedi? What was this pronouncement? I'm more curious about that.
It was a vision. It showed you, standing upon the many battlegrounds of the Mandalorian Wars. The Duxan jungles, the destroyed cities of Onderon. Whatever this threat we faced, it was from something you had done, and like all things would return to you. All echoes do.
If it showed the future, then that's just one possibility. True. That could have been the past as well. Or the future. It could mean anything. Also true. We're going to go with 2.
Yes, it was one such possibility. The others were only darkness, a galaxy devoid of the Force. But always there was an echo. The Jedi on KOTOR did not realize the significance of this. They had not stood in judgment of you so long ago. They had not heard the same echo I did when you stood before us, and when we cast you into exile.
And what is this echo, then?
Of course, you still do not know. The Jedi Council was not sure you would believe them if they told you, and I'm not sure they fully believed it themselves. It is why they wanted to exile you. So there, beyond the Outer Rim, you would come at last to hear that echo, and understand what happened.
I mean, Kreia
It was
killed
why
them,
you
so-
deserved death, and why I wished you executed.
But what is the echo?
It is the sound of life in agony. It is a wound in the Force that has yet to close. War, destruction. These events leave wounds in the galaxy, in all life. The death of one can send echoes through hundreds, even thousands, across many planets. If not checked, then it spreads until nothing is left. Something that you had done in the past has caused this new threat. This death of all Jedi, and you were responsible for it. It was only proper that you be brought back to face your crime. You had killed countless Jedi once. The deaths of more Jedi were not beyond you.
So if I'm understanding it right, basically, the Exile has the unique ability to bond deeply with others, forming what would, with most Jedi, be a really hard-to-do bond that would normally only form between, like, apprentice and master, Padawan and master. But he forms, or he or she, because it's the player character and whatever, and I think canonically female. But anyway, so the Exile forms these bonds with everybody. Exile has wound and force spread too bad. They want kill. I don't think this helps. I mean, long term, I guess possibly it would then allow the wound to close because it would, you know, the source of it. Ma'am, your logic is tenuous and annoys me. Can we deactivate the lightsabers when we're chatting also? I tend to tune it out, but you can just hear that thrum in the background of, I'm standing here with a lightsaber. Turn it off. It's really very well audio balanced, though. It's not loud enough to be a problem. I'm just more or less poking fun at it. Let's see. I had nothing to do with the deaths of the Jedi following the Mandalorian War, just like I didn't rob that museum at all. It was, what's-his-name's people. I've already forgotten. Tarkus? No. Is it Tarkus? No. Tarkus is the knight from Dark Souls. No, not him.
If
Anyway.
you were responsible for the threat, then you would answer for it. If not, then you would draw the Sith from hiding so that they might be defeated. Either way, you deserved your fate.
Kevlar? No. That's gonna bug me now that I don't remember his name. Anyway, was the vision of the future or of the past? I shall answer your philosophical meanderings with my own.
It may have been both. The past, the future, both linked. The only aspect of the vision that was certain was you.
I mean, if it's a prophetic vision, then technically real prophetic visions tend to have a dual fulfillment, the near and far. Whatever, ma'am. Why didn't you warn the Jedi? We have gone down such a rabbit hole with this conversation.
They knew the risk, because they sought to hide, to reflect, to hesitate while our numbers thinned and Jedi died.
Yes,
They knew the risks in going to KOTOR, and they deserved what happened to them. It was their punishment for hiding from the galaxy, for hiding from me.
Statements like that, ma'am. Are you sure you're not evil? Punishment, are you even listening to yourself?
They're the same questions, the same thoughts you have had. Who are these Jedi who survived the Jedi Civil War? They're not the Jedi I know, the ones I once worshipped. They are cowards, and doubters, and afraid. What manner of Jedi hide from a threat? Who turn on their own, and imprison them on dead worlds?
We don't have time for this. We need to unite.
Yes, the Sith are here at last. You have brought them to this place as I had foreseen. It has all been part of my plans for you. And when I defeat you and the forces you have brought to Telos, I shall take the battle to the heart of the Sith and wipe them out forever.
It almost sounds like at times she's speaking logically and then she dives right headfirst back into delusion. It's like, I know the Sith are after you, they want to kill you, but you brought them to me! Then how about we fight together? I get the logic of they're chasing me, so wherever I go, she could, find them via that. Anyway, what plans are you talking about, crazy woman?
These Sith are cowards, striking from the shadows to kill Jedi. I needed a target to draw them out, but I could not risk my own life, all that remained of the Jedi.
But you're not a Jedi!
So I arranged for you to return to the Republic, leaked information of your past, and then waited for the Sith to come. And they did. But you came to Telos against my predictions. Now they are here, I can finally face this enemy and defeat them.
But you yourself are using the very tactics, stratagems, and logic that a Sith would be using, therefore you should defeat yourself. You have defeated yourself. You have defeated yourself. All over. What is this place? Yeah, sure, we'll ask. Why are we just not, 10 minutes into the conversation? Oh, by the way, what is this place?
All the knowledge of the Sith, gathered from across the galaxy, brought here by my servants, so that I might uncover their secrets, and use them to track them down.
Short
but
answer.
Now they have been drawn from the shadows of the Outer Rim, and the only final matter to attend to is finishing you.
Or short answer, holocron room, full of Sith stuff. I won't fight you. Surrender and I will spare you. I love that these three options have been there the entire time, and I'm just slowly whittling down the possible options. Don't fight me!
Surrender to you, never. Let us end this.
I tried! Run away! Stasis. Ah! Well, this went well.
Kill me. End this.
If only my fight with Malik went that well. Actually, no, because that would have been horribly anticlimactic, and running around laying bombs everywhere was a lot more fun. I'm not gonna kill a helpless opponent, Atris.
I did not expect mercy from you, here at the end, after all that has happened between us.
There's been enough killing, and we have greater problems.
If you will not kill me, then what will you do?
Ask why the stones are whispering to me. What happened to you?
This knowledge of the Sith and the Jedi is what I am. It is my attempt to hold on to the past, to try and protect the future.
I mean, we could go down the philosophical rabbit hole of saying that you're not the sum of your memories. That is a part of you, but it's not you in terms of the totality of, heart, mind, will, souls, etc. Let's see. It was not your responsibility. Sith knowledge is forbidden for a reason. We buried it so it would stop corrupting people. Anyway, I think perhaps we've both been guilty of these things.
Once I was a historian, the chronicler of the Jedi, and when both wars passed me by, I was determined that I would not forsake battle again. In some part of me, I knew I had made choices, compromises, but always for the sake of the Republic, of the galaxy. To do what you had done, at times, did not seem so wrong.
The ends do not justify the means, ma'am. Just because you did it for the Republic doesn't mean that what you're doing is good. Lots of people have done things for king and country, and that doesn't mean that they were doing good things. They rationalized to themselves that what they were doing was for a greater cause, and then did things that shouldn't have. Anyway, let's see. It never does. Can you tell me where the Sith? Tell me where Kreia... No, it never does until you realize you've lost your connection with everything else. More of a, oftentimes, in the moment, it doesn't seem wrong until one day you blink and you look around and you're like, how did I get onto the path I'm on? Where I'm supposed to be is over there. Because, kind of like with a compass, there's the whole, if you're walking 100 miles... If you're traveling 100 miles, bear with me, if your compass is 1 degree off, you're going to end up way off target. Because even a small deviation eventually, grows into a very large deviation, even if you stay on the exact same path due to the nature of angles and arcs and all the fancy maths. Man.
You're right. The Jedi were all that seemed left to me. And yet I had become so far removed from them that I betrayed them.
So, can you tell me where the Sith are striking from? I've already asked you this, but sure. Is that one giving me the finger? That looks like a middle finger.
You always knew where they were striking from. You always knew. These Sith are spawned of you. Spawned by the Mandalorian Wars. All those deaths, all those Jedi. Their power is to feed on life, until nothing is left except a hollow galaxy, echoing with the screams of the Jedi lost to us.
Like the white glow inside of it looked like it was giving me the finger, and I'm very disappointed in that Sith holocron. Sith or not, that's rude. Is that where Kreia's gone?
Yes. I had thought she was awaiting me at that place, but I see now that she lied. It was not meant for me, but for you. She has gone there. She is waiting for you to travel to Malachor 5, to finish what you started.
I get to see Malachor 5. What I started?
Yes. You are an echo in the Force. A hollow space where it has been wounded. It takes a great act of destruction to create such emptiness. But it can be done. It creates places where the Force is difficult to hear, and difficult to find one's way. And you carry it with you. Always.
I feel like I'm going to sneeze in it. Yeah, the problem is typically those great acts of destruction don't tend to leave survivors. So the fact that the exile survived means you have a roving wound in the Force that just kind of drifts around the universe, feeding on everything around it, trying to fill itself, but it's never full, never satiated, eternally hungering and siphoning probably ludicrous amounts of energy from its surroundings. Anyway, it sounds like me at a buffet table. What does this have to do with Kreia?
Now she seeks to create another echo, a wound in the Force. Greater than the one before, greater than the one you caused. It will deafen all touched by the Force until no life is left. You were strong enough to withstand it once, but few have your strength in such matters, especially if they are unprepared.
Why would Kreia do that? I mean, I get the feeling that she thinks a universe without the Force would be better, but if it also wipes out all life, I feel there is a double-edged sword at play, yeah?
I do not know. But she needs you there. If you choose not to follow, she will murder herself at the heart of Malachor, and you will die along with her.
How dare she use that? But why?
You're important to her somehow, but I
heard Jedi in there.
But I do not know for certain.
Why do we keep cutting to the holocrons? Is she dead and I'm just talking to the holocrons? Are they just puppeting her and, like... Am I querying what is basically a supercomputer made of all these holocrons linked to her? Are you a hologram? Are you the interface for this computer and I just don't know it? There are so many questions. She stayed in here so long, meditating, not eating, that she eventually just died and the holocrons are using her as an interface. I don't know. If you know, tell me. Where is my force persuade when I need it?
She is willing to sacrifice herself at the heart of that graveyard world for you. A choice others have made in the past. A choice I wish to make. It is because I care for you, and I suspect that you alone hold that place in her heart where nothing else lives. And that is why you are the only one who can stop the destruction to come.
Weren't you just trying to kill me? Saying that you wished that they would have killed me before? This does not sound like the words of someone who cares about me. I am very confused by you and your sanity or lack thereof. Are you sure these holocrons aren't radioactive, ma'am? They probably are. Probably very radioactive. Can I put them all together and build a pyramid out of them? Build little mech suits with them as the core and have them be wandering the hallways. That'd be a horrible idea. I invented the Sith version of Skynet, just linked a bunch of holocrons together. Why would Kreia do this?
She seeks the death of all Jedi, all Sith, and the death of the Force. It is madness. It is impossible. But she believes you are the key.
She probably thinks that I'm a focal point or nexus in the Force. Basically, if you've ever seen a... I'm going to use the tempered glass example here. For those that don't know, tempered glass is the glass that's often used in windows now as opposed to pane glass. Pane glass shatters into large, jagged pieces. Tempered glass breaks into those little, typically cubes, if you bust out a windshield or something. I don't know so much about the front. Anyway, if you bust a window and like a house window or glass door or something, it usually breaks into these little chips. The reason for that is tempered glass is under a large amount of, to my understanding, under a large amount of internal pressure or internal stress, and when one piece of it breaks, all that stress releases at once, causing it to into lots of pieces. If you've ever, this is less common, sometimes with a piece of tempered glass you can get a chip in it, where the rest of it is fine, but there's a chip, there's a chink, there's a weak spot. You take and you just gently tap that weak spot and the whole thing shatters. She thinks the wound in the Force is the equivalent of that chip, that weak spot. She sees the exile as being the core of that wound in the Force. She's connected to the exile. So one way or another, whether she dies or the exile dies, hammer to glass or hammer to the weak spot, the entire substance of the Force would shatter. I don't know the connection to the universe. Things happen, bad things happen, possibly wipe out all life. Death of the Force?
There are places in the galaxy dead to the Force where nothing lives, where the echoes travel forever and do not reach their destination. And these places may be created, even from the simplest of events, the slightest of motions. One person, at the right place, at the right time, can change the face of the galaxy, or end it.
Well, why me?
You're important to her somehow, but I...
That's the same recording as before, because I heard Jedi in the same assortment of words.
For certain.
Oh, we're going in a loop.
She is willing to
Because,
sacrifice
yeah, that's the
us.
sign.
It
Blah,
is
blah, blah,
and that
blah,
is why
blah, blah, blah. Blah.
she seeks the...
Blah. How could I not tell she was Sith? Sure, that's a good question.
Because the Force had been stripped from her, as it had been torn from you. At times, I wonder what we would be if the Force was taken from us. If we would truly be Jedi or Sith, or simply human.
I wonder if canonically that's what eventually happens. Because, I mean, supposedly Star Wars is meant to be like the really distant past. Anyway, I'm not going down that rabbit hole because I don't know nearly enough about that subject. I've heard enough, I guess. I think we're going in loops at this point. Let's try the how could you bring about the death part.
There are places...
Yes. I've heard enough.
And what will you do with me now? Abandon me here on this dead world? Or end my life as I wish to end yours?
I mean, technically speaking, handmaiden sisters are still right down the hallway, so I don't think leaving you here is abandoning you by any stretch of the imagination. You might need to slap a few of them to wake them up because they're still permanently stunned somehow, but, you know, Plotco brand stun punch. I'll leave you to the holocrons. They do not abide failure. No. I'll do nothing except tell you that I'm sorry. I didn't realize the Mandalorian Wars would hurt others that had known me and cared for me.
It does not matter. Not now. It is what I did with such pain that caused the wound. But I thank you. Leave now, while you can. Save Telos. Save the galaxy. Save yourself.
All I hear when they're doing that is... That's loud.
No, I could not bring myself to tell him. It would have changed nothing.
Did I miss something?
And because I was afraid. You know what lies at the heart of Malachor 5. I had thought it was in the past, yet it has become the future. And all that has happened there will happen again. And that is why I cannot bear it. Because it is Malachor 5. And because I love him. I do not understand why the Sith permit such teachings to exist. They cause only echoes, wounds in the Force. A beacon? For who?
You came for me. I thought I had lost you.
Well, I was a little late, but better late than never.
Kreia. She said the council had ended you, and all along she was one of those who had sought to kill us.
Both are true, sort of. In a way, partly.
When I heard her say that you were dead, I failed you. I let my emotion run through me, and I acted without thinking. I wanted to punish her, hurt her, see her answer for what she had done to the Jedi, for leading you to the council.
I sympathize with that. We've all felt inklings of that at various points in our lives, but I'm going to say, if you get, I'm trying to think of a way to put it, even if you get that opportunity to shush you, I don't know if that recorded. Weather thing went if you got the opportunity to get the revenge that you in that heated moment sought, it won't make you feel better. You'll, one, feel empty because then the realization sets in, and then there's the whole, this didn't help, and then there's, great, now I've got the guilt from what I just did, and now I'm thinking a little more clearly. You perpetuate the very same pain to someone else that you were feeling. It's just, no. And you can also start a cycle of vengeance where it's like A kills B, family member of B kills A, seeking revenge, then family member of A kills them, and then it's just... You get the Hatfields and McCoys. I don't actually remember the whole story behind that, but that's the one I'm going with, because it's the like most cliche pop-cultured feud thing that I can think of. And now I'm thinking about the Beverly Hillbillies. Anyway... I am here. Yes, we'll go with the All Might answer. Calm yourself, I am here.
Of course. Forgive my display.
I can't take you seriously with that mask on.
I am the last of the handmaidens no longer. I am Brianna, disciple of the last of the Jedi, and the one who will stand with you against all enemies who face us.
You know, I went out of my way to not teach you Jedi things because you'd made an oath and all that, and you're just going to go after all that work and declare yourself my disciple. Oh, you told me your name. Well, that's fancy. It's good to hear your name.
It is good to hear it, after so long.
Alright, we're back in the ship. Not even gonna give me a chance to save or do nothing. We're just gonna go. You better not fly straight to Malachor, or I will be so disappointed. How dare you? Oh, look, an unfamiliar ship. Let's go on. Me? I'm gonna hazard a guess that we're now diverting from the plot to go to HK-47 goes to factory that's churning out HK-47 duplicates. And my confusion grows, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and pause here. Yes, today's entire video was basically exposition. I was hoping to see Malachor next time, but apparently next time, HK-47's Grand Adventure. So, I'm gonna go ahead and pause here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.